All right. So Jennifer Corporation has issued 300,000 shares of $3 par value common stock. It is authorized to issue 600,000 shares. The paid in capital in excess of par value on the common stock is $380,000. The corporation has reacquired 15,000 shares at a cost of $50,000 and is currently holding those shares. So let's attack this part first. So in order to calculate so we're going to separate the paid in capital in excess of par and just the par value amounts for the total shares issued. So in order to do that, we're going to pull up a calculator, clear this out. So it has issued, okay, so it has 380,000 in excess. So that's given to us. So that's the amount paid above the par value. So in order to calculate what the total price per share is, multiply the $3 par value times the total number of shares, which is 300,000. That gives us 900,000 common stock total, as we can see down here. And 900,000, that's the common stock amount. So that's the legal value of the stock. It's technically not real because it's the part that's sectioned off for creditors. All right, so we have that. So now we take the paid in capital of the paid in capital in excess of par, which is 380,000. And what we want to do right now is determine what the total price per share is. And that total price per share is composed of both the paid in excess of par value and the par value itself. So in order to determine what the total price per share is, we need to add those two together and then divide by the total number of shares issued. So we add 380,000 to that 900,000 to get $1,280,000. Then we divide by the total number of shares issued, which was 300,000. Okay? And that gives us a total price per share of $4.26, around 27 cents. Now, to determine the part that is the APIC, or the additional paid in capital, and the par value, we take the par value amount, which is $3 right here, minus it from the total price per share, and that isolates the additional paid in capital, or the APIC. So that APIC per share amount is the additional paid in capital amount per share, right? Per each of these $300,000 shares, 300,000 shares is $1.26. So that's the additional paid in capital amount per share. So in order to determine that total additional paid in capital amount, we multiply it by the 300,000 shares, and that gives us 380,000. Okay, so that's how they got the 380,000, right? And as you can see, paid in capital in excess of par, common stock is 380,000. Then we can also do the same thing for the preferred stock, because whether you're dealing with common stock or preferred stock, the methodology is still the same. So the corporation has also issued 4,000 shares and outstanding of 8%, $100 par value preferred stock. The 8% is the dividend rate of return for investors. So that just means you take the $100 par value, because remember with preferred stock, the treat par value as almost as if it's a bond rate, like it's the coupon rate. So you take, and with dealing with bonds, you take the face value and you multiply by the coupon rate, and that's the interest amount owed annually to investors. Same thing here, but you're dealing with preferred stock and not bonds. So you would take that $100, multiply it times the 0.08 to get 8%, and that means that investors are owed $8 annually per share on preferred stock on this one specifically. So that means they have, they're owed $8 per share, and they've issued 4,000. So you'd multiply by the 4,000. That would mean that their stockholders, their total dividend distribution annually to their stockholders would be $32,000. All right. So going back to what we were doing, we're going to take this. So the corporation has 4,000 shares issued and outstanding 8%, $100 par value preferred stock. It's authorized to issue 10,000, whatever. Paid in capital excess of par value on the preferred stock is 7,000. So again, what we're doing, we know that they have issued 4,000, and the par value amount is 100 per share. So multiply 4,000 times 100. That gives us the par value amount for the preferred stock, which is going to be 400,000, as you see here, and they got that by taking the the 4,000 shares issued and multiplying it by the minimum legal amount, which is $100 of par value. Then to determine the total price per share, which again, total price per share is composed of both the par value and the additional paid in capital. So that's the amount above par value. To determine that, we take that 400,000, which we got by multiplying 4,000 times the $100 par value, and we add the paid in capital in excess of par, which is 97,000, to get a total price, total paid in capital, which is, remember, total paid in capital is both your par value and the APIC. So total paid in capital is composed of common stock, which is by definition the par value. Well, actually, hold on. So it's total paid in capital is going to be, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so that gives us 497,000 for the total amount issued on the preferred stock, which we got from adding 97,000 to the 400,000 amount. So to get the total price per share now, we're going to divide by the total number of shares issued, which is 4,000. And that gives us a total price per share of $124.25. Now we know that the $100 par value, we already know that that's the par value. So to isolate the APIC, or the additional paid in capital amount per share, we take this 124 minus the $100 par value to get isolated the additional paid in capital amount per share. Remember, that's very important. This is per share. Then we take this $24.25, multiply it by the 4,000 shares issued, and that isolates the total additional paid in capital for the preferred stock, which was 97,000, as you can see. All right, so they took, these are the par values for both, and these are the additional paid in capitals for both.